you?
I'm good. Good morning. Good to be here.
It's a pleasure to have you. I appreciate it. Thank you for
you.
filling in for Corey.
Yeah, I volunteered.
We will go on the record in the matter 26 CF 21, State of Wisconsin versus Megan Kurkowski. The state appears through District Attorney Kevin Schmidt in person. We do have Renee Landgraf, Defense Counsel, in person with Ms. Kurkowski. We're set today in this matter for an evidentiary hearing. Ms. Landgraf did file a motion to suppress evidence. Are we ready to proceed? Yes. Then Mr. Schmidt, can you please call your first witness?
I call Bailey Mangan.
Deputy Mangan, please raise your right hand. You'll be sworn in and come have a seat at the witness stand.
Do you swear that the testimony you're about to provide today in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
All right, you may begin as soon as he's seated.
Could you state your name, spelling your first and last name for the record?
Yes, my first name is Bailey. My last name is Mangan. My first name is spelled Bailey. My last name is Mangan, Mangen.
What do you do for a living?
I am employed at the Burnett County Sheriff's Office as a Sheriff's Patrol Deputy.
How long have you been so employed?
Been full-time with Burnett County Sheriff's Office since December of 2019.
How many total years law enforcement experience do you have?
I started in Siren part-time in February of 2019.
So you've completed the requisite trainings for all law enforcement officers in Wisconsin,
Yes,
and you passed that.
yes,
You've gotten specific training on drug and other interdiction.
yes.
On February 26, 2026, did you meet with a confidential informant?
I've met with a source of information, yes.
Okay. Did that informant give you any information about a subject named Hawaiian Eddie?
Yes.
What did they tell you?
During my contact with that source of information, they provided information about a male who they used a nickname of Hawaiian Eddie. That source provided information that that male was selling firearms or guns. They also used the term dabbling in other things as well.
Did she observe any of these gun sales?
They did observe the gun, yes.
What did she say about a gun she saw?
The source of information stated that they had been at a residence and observed a handgun and had also seen the handgun, had also spoke to the person who purchased the handgun as well.
Did the source say who sold the handgun?
Yes, the source indicated that the male that she described as used the nickname Hawaiian Eddie sold the handgun to Brian Nelson.
And did this person say how much the gun was sold for?
The person provided information that the gun was sold for $150.
Did the sale include ammunition?
Yes,
Was the firearm operable?
the source indicated that they observed or they had seen the gun be fired after it was sold.
How were you able to figure out who Hawaiian Eddie was?
I had shown the source of information a photo of Edwin Akana during my contact with them.
Did they confirm that photo was Hawaiian Eddie?
Yes,
Why did you think to show a photo of Edwin Akana with that description of Hawaiian Eddie?
I had known from previous contacts that Mr. Akana had a long middle name that I guess in my opinion could be construed as Hawaiian.
Did this meeting with this source elucidate information about other issues not related to Edwin Akana?
Yes, several other topics were discussed.
And was the information about other topics accurate?
Yes, I was able to corroborate based off my own knowledge and experience, as well as contacts with individuals and situations that source of information provided about, that the information provided in those other accounts was accurate.
Information about drug interdiction in the county.
Drug activity, yes.
Okay. And What did you do after you got that information?
I did some, I guess, checks. I confirmed that Mr. Akana was on active supervision or active probation out of the state of Wisconsin for felony-related drug charges. I also, in that same check, confirmed what I had already known or had already known about, that Mr. Akana was living with Megan Kurkowski on Alden Road in the Village of Siren.
I guess before I move on too quick, did the source say when this gun sale happened?
Yes, they described the gun sale happening about a week prior to my contact with the source.
Okay. So after you confirm the address with DOC and the type of supervision, what'd you do next?
It was later in the day, I responded to the residents on Alden Road.
So the same day you got the information from the source.
Yes,
What'd you do when you got there?
I attempted to make contact with Mr. Kana at the front door of the residence. At the front door of the residence, I actually made contact with Ms. Kurkowski.
Did Ms. Kurkowski, what did you talk about with Ms. Kurkowski?
I explained the, I guess, basic reason why I was there and that I was looking to speak with Mr. Akana. I told her that I knew that Mr. Akana was living there. Ms. Kurkowski said that Mr. Akana was not at the residence at the time, but was at work, but that she assumed or knew that he was coming home soon.
So she confirmed he resided there.
Yes,
Did she say whether she knew what he was on probation for?
I don't recall if she said she knew what he was on probation for.
Okay. Did you speak with Edwin Akana prior to going inside the house?
I did, yes.
Did he confirm that he resided there?
Yes,
Okay. Did you enter the house prior to getting a search warrant?
yes.
What observations did you make of police interest on this entry into the house?
During the first entry into the house, Ms. Kurkowski, I asked her if she could walk me through the house. I had been in other units, but I don't recall ever being in that specific unit. Ms. Kurkowski walked me into the house back towards the bedroom area. In one of the bedrooms that was identified as the bedroom belonging to Ms. Kurkowski and Mr. Akana, I observed a glass bong or glass bubble pipe bong in the closet, as well as a rubber hose hanging on the, like, I guess, dresser mirror thing on the wall. I guess I don't know how to describe it, but.
And based on your training experience, why were these items of police interest?
Both of those items are consistent with items that are commonly used to smoke or consume or inhale methamphetamine or other illicit drugs.
You said this room was identified as both Edwin and Megan's. How?
Miss Kurkowski indicated that that was their room, as well as on the door, there was some sort of like lettering that indicated that it was Mr. Akana and Miss Kurkowski's bedroom.
Okay. Did you observe anything else on this first search prior to the search warrant?
I don't believe I did.
Okay. And then afterwards, you obtained a search warrant
Yes,
where you used this information,
yes,
and it was of the same residence.
the search warrant?
Yes.
Yes.
Well, one more thing I wanted to dial back to when you got the information from the source. Did she say that Edwin Akana only did this one sale?
The source provided information that Mr. Akana or Hawaiian Eddie at that time sold guns, is what the information was.
Was there a specific time he would come around?
Yes, the source indicated that Mr. Akana frequented Mr. Nelson's house on Jamesway Road in the morning hours around 10-ish.
Okay. I think I already asked this, but this was all done the same day. You got this information from the source and then you did the search.
Yes.
Okay. No other questions.
Thank you, Ms. Landgraf.
Thank you, Your Honor. Deputy Mangan, you mentioned the name Nelson. And that is the person that allegedly bought the firearm from Hawaiian Eddie?
That would be his last name, yes.
Okay, did you speak with Mr. Nelson?
Not prior to this contact, no.
Why not?
I guess I don't have a reason.
Did you have any other corroborating evidence, text messages, pictures, anything other than the source of information telling you this?
About the firearm specifically?
Yes.
No, I did not.
So you spoke with your source and then based on nothing else, you went to search his residence.
Yes.
And what were you looking for this Act 79 search?
Yes, with the sources information that Mr. Akana, or again, I should say Hawaiian Eddie, because he wasn't identified at that point, but that he sold guns was the information that the source provided.
And did the source say anything about selling firearms out of his residence?
No,
Did the source say anything that my client would have been involved in any way?
there was no mention of Ms. Kurkowski in the actual firearm sale, no.
And you had searched Mr. Akana's vehicle prior to going in the house?
I don't believe we searched the vehicle. I know that he offered consent. I don't recall if the vehicle was searched prior to going in the house, but he was adamant that he offered consent to search his vehicle.
And there were no firearms located?
Correct.
Nothing further.
Redirect.
No.
Right, may step down.
Thank you.
Any witnesses, any further witnesses? I see none.
Not from the state.
Any witnesses, Ms. Landgraf?
No, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Schmidt, argument.
I have kind of a tiered argument here, so I'll start first with the first layer. So for Act 79, the standard is reasonable suspicion. That is all that's needed. Deputy Mangan had reasonable suspicion. He had a source who he testified to gave him accurate corroborating information on other similar cases, showing her trustworthiness and reliability. And she gave information about a gun sale that was very specific. She described multiple people who were there, seeing the gun sale, how much money changed hand, that he sells multiple guns. This was enough information for Deputy Mangan to have reasonable suspicion Edwin Akana sold a gun, and furthermore, that he had done so multiple times. It's reasonable to conclude that firearms or ammunition might be stored at where you live if you have to put it somewhere if you're selling more than one. The specific information also included information that ammunition went along with it. Furthermore, the remedy being asked for suppression isn't merited here because it doesn't show a violation of a constitutional right. If the argument is that the probationer, the police didn't have sufficient to search the probationer's residence, that argument must fail because for suppression, it has to be a violation of a constitutional right. We know that Act 79 doesn't articulate a constitutional right. It articulates a regulatory framework. So historical argument, prior to Act 79 being passed, DOC always had the ability to search probationers' residences. It was always based on reasonable suspicion. Eventually that went up to the United States Supreme Court in Griffin v. Wisconsin, which I should give a cite to. 483 U.S. 868, 1987. There, the United States Supreme Court commented that probationers enjoy less degree of constitutional protection. They have less of an expectation of privacy because there's a very compelling state interest in having a watch over probationers. Subsequently, United States Supreme Court in US v. Knights 534 US 112, year 2001, as well as in Sampson v. California 547 US 843 in year 2006, would subsequently hold that even when a court or a law allows search of probationers for any reason at all, even if you don't have reasonable suspicion, it does not violate the Constitution. They just don't enjoy that right. In Wisconsin, we don't have any cases yet on point about Act 79 involving probationer living with non-probationer. What we do have is prior to the Act 79 regime, back when parole was the regime, we have a case about that. That was State v. West 185 Wistat 2E 68, year 1994, in which our Supreme Court held that searches of parolees' residences over the objection of a non-parolee living in the apartment are constitutional and do not result in suppression. They said that that to hold otherwise would effectively eviscerate the ability to search parolees at all because they could just live with a non-parolee. The court even went further and said that even if procedural requirements of the search warrant are not met, this does not automatically result in justifying the exclusion of resulting evidence. They said suppression of evidence must come as a result of a constitutional requirement, not a procedural one, and that not every procedure embodies a constitutional requirement. Which brings me to one of the things listed in the defendant's motion is they argued the search was arbitrary. It was not. The court heard the specific information. Deputy Mangan acted on it immediately. Even if the court held that it was arbitrary or capricious or harassing as the statute prohibits, that would not be a basis to suppress based on State v. West. Those are not constitutional requirements. In fact, you don't really see those terms in the suppression jurisprudence. You see those more in the lawsuit against the police jurisprudence, which is why Act 79 didn't include a remedy of suppression for a violation of those requirements. So to sum up, the state's argument is there's obviously reasonable suspicion. It was recent specific information from a source that also had other corroborated information back on the same day, which shows it wasn't arbitrary or harassing or capricious. It was acting on information from a source. The remedy of suppression isn't appropriate here unless if the court finds that a constitutional right was violated, and based on what's been adduced, that isn't the case because it heard that Edwin Akana is a probationer. He was definitely residing there. Probationers just don't enjoy those rights. The arbitrary, capricious harassing, that didn't happen. It wasn't done in such a manner. In fact, the court heard Megan Kurkowski led Deputy Mangan through, showed him the space. It was a shared space even between Edwin Akana and Megan Kurkowski where the evidence was found. Nothing arbitrary, capricious, or harassing about that. If anything, it was pretty friendly. Furthermore, even if that standard wasn't, the court held it wasn't met, that doesn't result in suppression. Finally, I would do as a final argument, the court heard that a search warrant eventually happened in this case. They searched the house as well. That search warrant included language from the source of information about the gun sale. The state would argue that that information on its own, even if you sever out the drug and drug paraphernalia found on the Act 79 search, was sufficient for the search warrant, and that is another basis to hold in favor of the state. Thank you.
Ms. Landgraf?
Your Honor, can I just have 1 second to confer with my client?
You sure may. If you would like to go outside, we can just totally go off the record for a minute. If you want a little bit more privacy, I'm totally fine if you want to stay here though.
Okay, we'll just step outside.
Off the record momentarily.